Hold up. Why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. You waiting on the boy to fail, then hold your breath and face your death. Cause you play the roulette with each step. I progress, no less. Go ahead and place your bet.
Welcome back, y'all. This is a Double M Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jesus Dinero, here with my co-host,
Puma El Gato.
And before we get into tonight's topic, please make sure to hit like, subscribe, and share the video, guys. What do we got going on tonight, my man?
For the Bantamweight title, it is Cory the Sandman Sandhagen versus Merab the Machine Dvalishvili. Let's talk about it.
So, we have another banger for this upcoming Saturday. Merab versus Cory Sandhagen. And listen, both of these dudes are saying a number of different things. Both of these dudes are saying a number of different things, saying, hey, I'm going to be the one to take this fight, and here's why. Normally, when we look at these fighters and we look at how they're matched up, we try to find common denominators. Usually, that's common opponents, and see how each individual did against those common opponents. I did notice one immediate name pop off, Umar Nurmagomedov. Each one of these dudes has fought Umar Nurmagomedov, but with different results. Merab, in my opinion, I don't care what anybody says, I don't care what Joe Rogan says or anybody else, dominated Umar Nurmagomedov in a good fashion, by the way, to the point where, I mean, we all know the picture of where he even pushed him over and he was pointing and, I don't want to say laughing at him, but mocking him a little bit. Different things of that nature. And one of the things that Merab said about Umar is completely factually true. Umar was dominating the daylights out of his opponents. They were all unranked. Once he got into a ranked opponent, Cory Sandhagen, he did well, but he wasn't the same insane domination like his previous opponents. And then once he faced the champion himself, Merab, he himself got dominated. So that's my benchmark for this. Don't get me wrong. Even if they didn't have that in common, I would personally still be picking Merab Dvalishvili as the winner. The reason I say that is we've all seen the tear that Merab has gone on. He's beaten Sean O'Malley twice. He beat Umar Nurmagomedov. He beats Henry Cejudo. Peter Yan. I mean, great names. And don't get me wrong, Cory Sandhagen has a lot of equivalent names and a lot of great names on his resume too, but not recently. Phenomenal name. The biggest one that I can point to that he won in May of this year was obviously Davison Figueiredo. Great name, don't get me wrong, phenomenal name to have on your record. But other than that, man, listen, I'm not feeling the win ratio, the wins that he has under his belt as much as Merab, especially because Merab has looked phenomenal against all of his opponents, all of them. He's looked good against all of them. I mean, again, even if we just take O'Malley recently, when he faced Sean O'Malley, if we take the first fight, he beat O'Malley, but he beat him even better the second time, which is his most recent fight. So I think if you take a look at their body of work, I think especially the most recent ones, Merab by leaps and bounds is better than Cory Sandhagen. I don't think that there's anything that Cory Sandhagen has in his toolbox that's going to be able to stop the unrelentless pressure. The relentless pressure of Merab Dvalishvili. He is putting it on you constantly. And because of that, I do think around the third round, we're going to see severe signs of fatigue for Cory Sandhagen. I think we're going to see the fact that this man is going to, as many have said it before, as Khabib and everyone, I'm going to take this man into deep waters and then I'm going to drown him. I feel like that's what's going to happen. I feel like the relentless pressure of Dvalishvili is just going to be too much for Cory Sandhagen to weather. I do think it's going to be via decision. I think it's going to go the full 5 rounds, but I do think there's going to be a clear winner. Obviously, we can, the best hope for Cory Sandhagen is that, I mean, I don't even want to say wrestling-wise, maybe you can catch him, knock him out, stuff like that. But I'll be honest with you, I've seen Merab take some bangers of punches, man, some bombs from different people, and kept it moving. Still put it on you, like a wet blanket jumping over you and just suffocating the life out of you. So I personally think it's going to be Merab taking it. I do think it's going to be via unanimous decision. I think it is going to go to the end, obviously. I think, obviously, there'll be a moment or two where Cory Sandhagen will have maybe some success with a little bit of body punches, but not body punches, punches to the body, to the head. It's going to be in the first round, and I think that's going to be the extent of it. I don't mean to disrespect Cory Sandhagen by any means. I just think Merab is that guy in his division right now, and because of that, I think that there's very few people, if any, if I'm being honest with you, that can really put it to Merab Dvalishvili to question his reign as Supreme Champion in his division. And listen, obviously we have different fighters in different divisions that have that same chokehold on their division right now. So if Cory Sandhagen doesn't do something phenomenal, doesn't do something spectacular, we got to start asking the question, what's next for Merab? So I think Cory Sandhagen needs to pull something out of his hat that we haven't seen before, something phenomenal, something spectacular. Otherwise, I do think it is going to be a unanimous decision for Merab simply by smothering the life out of Cory Sandhagen. Again, Cory Sandhagen sure might have a little bit of success in the early rounds, first, maybe even the second round, of landing some decent work here and there. But I think the second that Merab goes in for the takedown, I think that's going to be the end of it. Again, no disrespect to Cory Sandhagen, phenomenal fighter, great work. Merab's just that guy right now. Merab has put too much time into that insane gas tank that he has. And I'll be honest, I don't see the man slowing down. I haven't seen him slowing. Even when we've confirmed, even though when it's been confirmed that he was going in there with an injury, with that potential staph infection that he had on his leg, with the different things that we know he has going on, Merab has still never once let up off the gas tank. So I think that's what's going to carry him over the edge. I think it's going to be a unanimous decision, potentially a submission somewhere in there. But I think the most likely scenario is a unanimous decision win via the 5th round. And I think at the end we're going to be hearing, and still, champion Merab Dvalishvili. What do you think about that, my man?
Listen, we're not here to talk into superlatives or anything like that. Cory Sandhagen is a higher level striker. Maybe not an elite striker, but at the very least higher level. So I will give him some props on that. Merab Dvalishvili has actually gone on, if we're going to take everybody's word that Sugar Sean O'Malley is an elite level striker, and to be fair, there's some credits to that argument. The fact is, their second fight, Merab was leading in significant strikes, and he didn't even win by knockout or TKO. He won by submission, and he was still leading in significant strikes in the second fight. So you mean to tell me that Merab isn't an elite level striker? Which again, I don't think so. I don't think striking's his main game. But he was still able to outstrike somebody that was a striker. And keep in mind, that's not the main level of offense. Again, this isn't to discredit Cory Sandhagen by no means. But you look at his most contentious wins and also his infamous loss that he had against Umar Nurmagomedov. Again, the Umar Nurmagomedov, that's already a big that's looking out like a sore thumb, because Cory Sandhagen lost to Umar Nurmagomedov by decision, and Merab Dvalishvili made an absolute wrestling clinic out of Umar Nurmagomedov. He turned Nurmagomedov into a highlight reel for him. And he made that look absolutely easy. Didn't look winded. Didn't look like it took him out. It was another day at the office for Merab Dvalishvili. And Cory Sandhagen lost to that guy? And, all right, fine. How does he do against another grappler? Well, as we saw with the Deiveson Figueiredo, I mean, he did get him with a leg crank and he bent his knee, and, that caused the TKO for Deiveson Figueiredo. So I'll give him some credit there. But even then, in round 1, Deiveson Figueiredo was laying down some grappling offense, and Cory Sandhagen, his takedown defense, let's just say, was a little lacking. And again, Deiveson Figueiredo is a good grappler. He's not a Merab grappler. He's not an elite level grappler. Merab is one of those wrestling greats that only comes around every now and again. And again, Merab's lung capacity, his gas tank, is near mythical levels. Go back again. Watch that Sugar Sean fight. The second fight, mind you. Merab wrestled Sugar Sean for damn near 4 out of the 5 minutes in the championship rounds. Got him in the cravat choke. Got up and he looked like he was having a light jog. He looked like he just had a brisk morning jog. He looked perfectly fine. This looked like a warm-up for him. And he was in the championship rounds. You mean to tell me that somebody that has trouble against grapplers, like Cory Sandhagen, is supposed to go up against a mythical fighter, mythical wrestler, in somebody like a Merab Dvalishvili? Merab Dvalishvili, mind you, who has turned Sugar Sean once, Sugar Sean twice, Umar Nurmagomedov, who is a wrestler, and Henry Cejudo, who again is an Olympic wrestler, and turned him into topsoil for his aura form? And you're telling me Cory Sandhagen has to go against that, and his takedown defense isn't that great? Now, granted, I will give you, Cory Sandhagen is going to give him some trouble in striking. I won't even doubt that this would be a contentious fight, at least from Cory Sandhagen's part. But how I see the fight going, and I do think it is going to go decision for Merab Dvalishvili. I do think it's Cory Sandhagen is going to make it as contentious. He's going to do his best to make it as rough on Merab as possible. But I think Merab's just going to outlast him a bit more than that, and Cory Sandhagen's going to be playing catch up come round 3. At that point, again, like you said, It's take him into deep waters and drown him, smother him, take him down, make sure all of his gas tank is depleted, and after that, then it's another day at the office for Merab Dvalishvili, and still the UFC bantamweight champion. But what do you think about my perspective on that?
Yeah, man, I think we're both in agreement. Listen, again, this is no disrespect to Cory Sandhagen. Phenomenal fighter, put in great work over the entirety of his career. Merab is just that guy right now. Merab is just that guy. And listen, whether you like it or not, I know some people, don't like the whole wrestling style, the smothering, the blah, blah. I know some people don't like it, but listen, it's MMA for a reason, big dogs. We are here to see who in their professional mixed martial art, whatever that may be, whether it's BJJ, whether it's kickboxing, whether it's wrestling, whatever it may be, who's got the best one. And I think based on everything that I've seen, all the work that I've seen put together from Merab, based on all the work that I've seen together from Cory Sandhagen, I think Merab is going to be the winner of this fight. Again, wouldn't be surprised if a submission got thrown in there somewhere. I think the most likely outcome is a fifth round decision, unanimous decision win for Merab, and that's who we are picking. Make sure that you guys tune in to see the fight because it's going to be a phenomenal fight. Once again, from Merab, in my eyes, he's the real people's champ. I like Merab. Great dude. Overall, phenomenal wins. Especially, again, just go back and look at even his 5 most recent fights, 6 most recent fights, 7 most recent fights. All great names to have on the record, man. Good fight ahead for us. I'm excited for this card, stack card. Good times ahead, fellas. And with that, make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit, and
Until next time, get rest and stay blessed. We'll see you in the next one.